All right, class. So today we're talking about the lesson from August 17th, last Friday. So our main objective last Friday was to round numbers. So to start off our objective here, we're going to discuss what it means, place value of a number means. This again was from the 17th. So the ones column is the one directly next to the decimal. As we go to the right, we increase by powers of 10 each time. So to the right of the 1 is tens. To the right, or to the left, sorry. To the left of the tens is hundreds. And to the left of the hundreds is thousands. As we go to the left, or to the right of the decimal, we go by tenths. So we basically take the same words and we add a THS at the end of them. So instead of tens, it's tenths. I shouldn't say at the end, before the S. So this is tenths, which literally means dividing by 10. The next one to the right of that is hundredths. Next one to the right of that would be thousands, with a THS at the end of it. All right, so when we're rounding numbers, for example, if we take the number 48,325, I will always tell you a spot to round to. So in this case, I'll underline the spot with a purple line. So we're rounding to that's the hundreds spot. So we're going to round this what's called down. Or in other words, we're going to keep the number the same, 48,300. We are dropping the 25 at the end and rounding it down to 300. Now, if that was instead of a 25, if that was, for example, a 65, we would round it up into 400 because it would be closer to 400. If it's exactly midway between, we round it up. So if this was 48,350, it would become 48,400. So another example here. Let's take the example of 836,412. Here we're going to round to the tens of thousands, or to the 10,000s. This will become 84,000. Sorry, 840,000. We're rounding it up, as the number after the 3 is greater than or equal to 5. In this case, it's a 6. Since that number is a 6, it's bigger than or equal to 5. We round it up. It becomes 84,000. It's closer to 84,000 than it is to 83,000. All right, another one. Take, for example, the number 364.16. Let's round this to the tenths. So this will be 364.2. Now there is something called significant digits here that you may or may not have learned in science class already. So when I round a number, I'm going to drop off that last 0. In other words, that 6 becomes a 0, so it should be 20 hundredths, right? But I'm going to drop off that last 0 to signify that the number's been rounded. It is not 0.2, it was actually 0.16, the original number, and it's been rounded to 0.2. So I don't keep a 0 at the end of the 2 to signify the rounding here. Now with the thousands here, you can see I did keep the zeros because it's important to signify where the place of the number is. And you can solve this notation by actually doing scientific notation, which we're going to learn about later in the year. And writing this as 8.4 times 10 to the 5th. That way we can verify that it has been rounded. It has been rounded to 10,000s because 10 to the 5th is 10,000s. And this would be 4.83 times 10 squared. That would tell us it's been rounded to the hundreds. So it is important to signify where you have rounded the number to when you do round a number. In this case, I rounded to the tenths, so I don't carry anything after the tenths. Here I've rounded to the tens of thousands, so I don't carry anything after the tens of thousands. It turns significant digits, is what it's called. This will come up later on in your high school career, more towards the chemistry portion, if you do take the chemistry, which most of you will. Let's take, for example, another sample here, 184.065. Let's round this to the hundredths. This again will round up. It'll become 184.07, or 184 and 7 hundredths, which we could write again in scientific notation to signify that it's been rounded to the hundredths, or we can leave it in decimal form here, as the decimal form actually does accomplish that the same way in this particular instance. All right, one more. Take, for example, 656 and 245 thousandths. Let's round this to the tens. So 4,660. Round that to the tenth spot. You notice here I didn't keep the decimal. That's because I've rounded it to the tens. I have not kept anything after the tens column in this case, or anything after the tens place. All right, next thing I want to discuss with you. Usually on Fridays, I will do some reviews. So I would like for you to write down in your notes here your 8's multiply facts. So what do I mean? Well, I mean, what is 8 by 1? What is 8 by 2? What is 8 by 3? All the way up through 8 by 12. What I want you to, again, focus on with multiplication is how it is, or how it relates to addition. We need to be able to multiply properly in this classroom. 1 and 2 digit numbers together. We need to be able to multiply properly. So again, when we do 8 by 1, that's like 1 8, or 8 ones, 8 single units, or one group of 8 units. So this is 8 total units, or 8 total items. This is, when we do 8 by 2, again, this is like 2 groups of 8 items, or 8 groups of 2 items. So what I can do here is, again, if I look at this 8, this was 1 8, this will be 2 8s. 16. Do you see the relationship here? How we are adding the number to itself. So this will be 3 8s now, 24. I don't expect you to write this down with addition each and every time when you do this multiplication. What I'm wanting you to do is to start to recognize how multiplication works. How you are adding groups of numbers together when you're multiplying, how it's related to multiplication and addition. The purpose of this is so that you can multiply quickly, properly, and effectively. You should definitely know all of your 5s, 5 by anything, and all of your 10s, 10 by anything. And then from there, you can add the numbers that you need to. So for example, 8 by 5 is 40, so 8 by 6 would be 40 plus 8. Or 8 by 4 would be 40 minus 8. 8 by 10 is 80. So for example, 8 by 12 would be 8 by 10, 80, plus 2 more 8s, 96. Or 8 by 8 would be 80 minus 2 8s, which would be 64. Because you do 80 minus 8 is 72, and minus another 8 is 64. This is stuff that needs to be able to be done in your head efficiently. This isn't something where you should be able to, where you should be sitting there thinking for more than a minute about what this number is. This should be something that should be pretty much within 5 to 10 seconds with each number when we're asking it. 1 and 2 digit multiplications. We are going to work on this all year long. Next thing here, I want you to plot numbers on a number line, so like -6, -3, than 7 on a number line. This is a review from our previous class as well. So in the middle, I'll put 0, and I'll label every fifth. So there's -5. There's +5. So -6 is 1 left of -5. -3 is 2 to the right of -5. 0 is right in the middle. 1 is 1 to the right of 0. 5 is 5 to the right of 0. And 7 is 2 to the right of 5. There are my 7 coordinates plotted on a number line. So every Friday I do collect notebooks. If you didn't turn yours in last Friday, you're going to turn it in this Friday. What's the day? The day is the 20th. So you'll turn it in the 24th. This Friday the 24th. And if you're gone for the 24th, then you'll turn it in next Friday, which will be the 31st of August, and then the 7th. And I will not assign homeworks on Fridays for this particular reason, because I want to collect notebooks every Friday, and then I'll hand them back every Monday for you to do your work. Please come in before school if you have questions. Goodbye.